The city was a labyrinth of wet asphalt and broken dreams, and that night, Arthur was just another ghost haunting its streets. Rain fell in sheets, blurring the neon signs into a watercolor mess, each drop a tiny hammer on his already heavy shoulders. He walked with the heavy gait of a man who'd lost a fight he didn't even know he was in. The world seemed to be moving on, leaving him stranded in a puddle of his own reflection, a tired face staring back, etched with the quiet desperation of a life lived paycheck to paycheck. This wasn't living. It was a slow, grinding surrender. His days were a bleak montage of modern-day survival. He remembered the hollow satisfaction of cashing his paycheck, only to watch it dissolve into a pile of fleeting pleasures. The latest gadget, a fancy meal, things that promised happiness, but delivered only emptiness. The stock market, a cryptic beast on his computer screen, taunted him with its violent red lines, a language of risk and ruin he couldn't comprehend. His office was a cage, the relentless ticking of the clock the only soundtrack to his monotonous existence. Each tick was a countdown, not to freedom, but to another day just like the last, a cycle of earning just enough to get by, but never enough to get ahead. He was running on a treadmill, going nowhere fast, and the fear of falling behind was a constant, gnawing presence. Then one rainy evening, something broke the spell. Pausing to escape the downpour, he found himself in front of an old bookstore, its window a warm, inviting glow in the cold, dark street. His eyes, usually downcast, were drawn to a single book on display. The title was simple but powerful, a promise whispered from the pages, The Path to Financial Freedom. As he stared at the cover, the dim street lamp overhead seemed to flicker and brighten, casting a new, clearer light on his face. It was a small, almost imperceptible shift, but for Arthur, it was a seismic event. In that quiet moment, a spark of defiance ignited within him, a realization that his story didn't have to end this way. He could be the author of a different future. The journey began not with a grand gesture, but with the simple act of turning a page. A new montage began to play out, one of purpose and deliberate action. Nights were no longer for aimless wandering, but for intense study, the glow of his desk lamp replacing the harsh neon of the city. He devoured books on finance, his highlighter carving yellow paths through dense paragraphs about budgeting, saving, and investing. He turned his passion for craftsmanship into a small side business, the late hours in his workshop a testament to his newfound resolve. Then came the moment of truth, his first investment. It was a small, calculated risk, but when he saw the first green numbers of profit, it felt like a monumental victory, a sign that he was finally on the right path. Years later, the man who once shuffled through rain-slicked alleys stood on a sun-drenched balcony high above the city. The skyline, once a symbol of an unattainable world, now sprawled before him like a kingdom he had conquered. The sun warmed his face, a stark contrast to the cold rain of his past. He looked out, not with the weary eyes of a defeated man, but with the calm, confident gaze of someone who had rewritten his own destiny. The transformation was complete. He had navigated the labyrinth, not by finding an escape, but by learning to build his own way out, brick by brick, dollar by dollar. He was finally free.